Hello to everybody, my name is Diana Timashova and today I'm going to present my work Peculiarities of Translation of English Literature into Ukrainian During the New Age based on Jane Austen's novel Pride and Prejudice. One of the most common trends in communication processes in the modern world is translation, which in turn is based on the principles of the translation model as an act of interlingual communication. This issue is quite common and relevant not only in the field of philology but also in other areas, which on its part calls the need for more detailed study of this issue and also various studies in these areas. The history of Ukrainian translation as an independent branch in the period of 18th, 19th centuries, which has a new period, is controversial since it is based on different historical facts and beliefs. This is why in our work we have highlighted the peculiarities of translation of English language literature into Ukrainian during the New Age period on the material of Jane Austen's novel Pride and Prejudice. In order to produce a high-quality translation of any text, the translator must prevent a large number of interlingual transformations, so translated transformations. Four main types of transformations can be distinguished, namely transpositions, substitutions, additions, and also lowering. While translating any text, a set of certain methods is used, but one of these methods is central and determines to the further nature of the relationship between the original text and the already translated one. We have considered fiction as a rather multifaceted concept that covers a long period of time and distinguishes 7 main periods in the history of its formation. Having analyzed in detail each of these periods and their characteristics, we have come to the conclusion that author in question, namely Jane Austen, wrote in the period of the modernism. We have also investigated the concept of New Age as reflected in both the literature and its translation. We found that the chronological boundaries of the concept span from the 17th to the 19th century. The literature of the New Age collected a lot of different styles and directions. The novel Pride and Prejudice that we studied is characterized by its free construction and prose genre, indicating that it belongs to the style of realism. We have identified that the process of translating the names of literary works is rather complicated, sometimes multi-stage and even in some cases contradictory. Such a situation has developed against the background of the fact that a novel's future success depends on its title, primarily from a commercial point of view, since the title can influence the number of copies sold, which is why a large number of titles have been changed. There are also informative titles, which are primarily aimed at revealing and theme, the subject matter, or naming the locations and the protagonists. These titles account for approximately 35% of the total number of titles. The title of Jane Austen's work we studied, Pride and Prejudice, was translated using a symbolic style, which compared to the informative style accounts for only 20% of all other works. We came to this conclusion because this title is so conscious, meaningful, and clearly reproduces the main theme of the work. As we know, translation is closely linked to stylistic and aims to explain what the text means. We have found that functional style is divided into 2 main categories, namely colloquial and bookish, and the latter in turn is divided into scholarly, formally, business, fiction, and also the journalistic one. And also, having analyzed the lexical and semantic peculiarities of each of these styles, we came to the conclusion that the text which we are studying belongs to the fiction style, since it has all the peculiarities, characteristics